In today's English lesson, I'm going to teach you 4 things you must do in order to speak English fluently like a native English speaker. Are you ready? Well then, I'm teacher Tiffany. Let's jump right in. Now, the very first thing you must do is create. You must create a plan in order to achieve all of your English goals. This is something that you must do. In order for you to become a native English speaker or sound like a native English speaker and speak English fluently, you have to create a plan. There's a quote that came from Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin said, "By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail." Now, this is what I need you to understand. I believe that you will be able to speak English fluently. I believe that it's possible no matter where you live. Even if you've never met a native English speaker before, you will be able to speak English fluently, but only if you have a plan. Just like Benjamin Franklin said, if you're just going around without a plan, you are preparing for failure. So you must create a plan. Another quote about creating a plan came from Yogi Berra. Yogi Berra said, "If you don't know where you are going, you'll end up someplace else." In other words, if you don't have a clear plan taking you to a clear destination, you will not end up at the place that you want to. So you want to speak English fluently, you must create a plan. And another powerful quote about this comes from Brian Tracy. Brian Tracy said, "A clear vision backed by definite plans gives you a tremendous feeling of confidence and personal power." When you have a plan and you know exactly where this plan is taking you to, you can study with confidence. You can be confident that you will achieve your goal. So again, the first thing you must do is create a plan to achieve all of your English goals. When you create a plan, you will achieve your goal. Here's the second thing you must do. You must think. Think in English as often as you can. I need you to understand this. This is so important. In order for you to speak English fluently, you must start thinking in English. And sometimes it feels a little bit difficult or tricky, but it is possible. There's a powerful quote that came from Norman Vincent Peale. Norman Vincent Peale said, "Change your thoughts and you change your world." Think about that. When you change your thoughts, your entire world will change. The same is true as it comes or relates to your English. When you change the way you are thinking right now, maybe sometimes you doubt your ability to speak English fluently. Maybe you think to yourself, he can do it. She can do it, but I can't do it. No, you have to change the way you are thinking and start thinking in English as often as you can. When you're doing something around the house, when you're at school, when you're at work, force yourself to think in English. Describe what you're doing. Again, changing your thoughts can change your world. Another quote I love that talks about your thoughts and thinking from Louise Hay: "Every thought we think is creating our future." Look, this is powerful. Every thought you have, every thought is creating your future. So when you, again, just like step number 1, you create a plan. And then step number 2, the thing you must do again, when you start thinking in English, your future actually is being created. You want to speak English fluently? Start thinking in English more. Slowly, bit by bit, step by step, you will start to see the future you desire become a reality. start thinking in English. And Scotty Waves said, "We are a product of our thoughts." You are a product of the way you think. So if every day you tell yourself, "I can't speak English. I'll never be able to speak English like Teacher Tiffani. I'm not able to speak English fluently," you never will. But if you change your thoughts, and if you tell yourself, "You know what? I am a good student. I can and I will achieve my English goals. Today, I'm going to follow the plan I created. And I'm going to think in English. I'm going to make an effort to think more in English." You will achieve your goals. So the second thing you must do, my friend, you must think in English as much and as often as you can. Now, remember, I mentioned to you, number one, the thing you must do, you have to create a plan. Now, I want to let you know really quickly, I have many students, thousands of students that are already following my plan. If you need a plan and you don't have one, all you have to do is go to www.dailyenglishLessons.com. I've created a full plan to take you from an intermediate English learner all the way to an advanced English learner in 1 year. Daily English lessons to help you follow a plan, thinking in English, and having peace of mind that you will be able to speak with confidence. So go to dailyenglishLessons.com, or you can hit the link in the description. Now, the third thing you must do, the third thing I need you to pay attention to, you must overcome. Overcome your fears about English. Listen, it's true. I know that there are times when you feel like it's impossible. You're afraid that you're not moving forward. You're afraid to make mistakes. You don't want to speak to a native English speaker, or you don't want to be in an environment and speak in English because you're nervous that you'll make a mistake. You have to overcome your fears about English. It's a powerful quote from Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela said, "The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear." Listen, I'm speaking to you right now. You will experience fear. I experienced fear when I was learning Korean. I would get in certain situations and suddenly get nervous, and it seemed like everything I had learned was gone. I couldn't remember any Korean word. The fear was real, and the fear that you feel, it's real. But you have to remember, number 3, you must overcome your fears. And just like Nelson Mandela said, the brave man, the brave woman is not the individual that doesn't have any fear. It's the individual that's able to overcome and conquer that fear. And I believe that you can overcome. Don't worry about making mistakes. Just practice what you're learning. You can do it. Another one that was very powerful. Marie Curie said, "Nothing in life is to be feared. It is only to be understood." What? Powerful. One more time. Nothing in life is to be feared. It is only to be understood. Let me break this down. So for you as an English learner, first, you probably have fear when it comes to speaking English in front of other individuals, specifically those who are native English speakers. You don't want to make a mistake, right? Well, that's the fear, but no, Marie Curie said you must understand what's the root of that fear. Why do you feel that way? Get to the root, get to the bottom of it. Are you afraid to make mistakes because you think they'll laugh at you? Okay, well, understand, have they ever laughed at you before? I can guarantee the answer is no. As a native English speaker, yes, I've been a teacher for a long time. I've had thousands upon thousands of students and millions of students on YouTube. I have never laughed at a student's mistake to make that student feel bad. There have been times when myself and other students have talked about certain things and we've laughed together, but I have never laughed at a student when that individual made a mistake. So that fear, now that you understand, wait a minute, that fear is not actually a real fear because they're not going to laugh at you. Instead, they'll be impressed that you, are learning another language, and you are making an effort to speak in that language. So understand your fear, where it's coming from, and then you'll be able to overcome it. Another quote that is important for you to understand for this number 3 of overcoming. Roseanne Cash said, "The key to change is to let go of fear." The key to changing, the key to going to the next step and improving your English is to let go of fear. Something I teach my students, those that are in my academy, all the time is, listen, I am not here to constantly tell you you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. I am here to increase your confidence, to help you let go of fear and enjoy the process of learning English. And I have literally watched students from all around the world transform and start speaking with confidence when they let go of their fear. First time they joined one of our group classes, they were too shy to speak in English. True story. By the 3rd class, 4th class, they started speaking with confidence. Why? Because they were no longer afraid of making mistakes. They realized that their teacher and other members of our family, our group, were encouraging them. Once you let go of fear, you will change. So again, number 3, overcome your fears about English. And number 4, something that you must do immediately. You must take action. Take action and use what you learn. This is so important. You want to speak English fluently like a native English speaker. In order to do that, you can't just study. You have to study and then use what you learn. You must take action. Let me explain this. There's a quote from G.K. Nielsen. G.K. Nielsen said, "Successful people are not gifted. They just work hard, then succeed on purpose." Listen, they just work hard and succeed on purpose. I told you earlier, you can achieve your English goals. All you have to do is, again, follow a plan. Create a plan, and as you work hard following the clear plan you have set up, you will succeed on purpose because you're doing something. You are taking action. You are using what you're learning. You're not sitting back and saying, I can't do it, it's impossible. No, you're standing up. Remember, you've created a plan. You're thinking in English. You've overcome your fears, and now you are taking action. You will succeed on purpose. Jim Rohn said, "Either you run the day or the day runs you." Let me explain. Either you control your day, your time, or it will control you. Don't let time go by 2 weeks, 1 month, 3 months, 4 months, 1 year, 2 years, and you still have not achieved your English goal. Instead of letting time fly by, take control. Follow a plan that will help you achieve your English goals. You'll have the confidence knowing that, hey, I'm doing what I need to do to achieve my goals because you are taking action. Finally, Alexander the Great, he said, there's nothing impossible. One more time. There is nothing impossible to him or her who will try. So will you try? I want you to achieve your English goals. But again, the 4 things you must do. And the 4th thing is take action. Nothing is impossible if you simply, like Alexander the Great said, if you simply try. Listen, I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I hope you do these 4 things. I believe you can achieve all of your goals. Don't forget again, if you need a plan, if you don't have a plan, you can follow the plan that I've created by going to dailyenglishLessons.com. A clear plan that will take you along this journey and help you achieve your goal, overcoming your fears, and finally taking action. Go to dailyenglishLessons.com. I'll talk to you next time, but as always, remember to speak English. You still there? You know what time it is. It's story time. Hey, I said it's story time. All right, today's story is one that is a bit more serious than usual, but I learned a very valuable lesson. So I want to tell you this story, and I hope you learn something from it as well. So when I graduated from university, I was offered a job at NASA. I had done an internship at NASA when I was in university. So when I graduated, they wanted to extend the offer and they said, Tiffani, we would like you to come work for us. I said, great. I was excited. But right before I graduated and got this permanent position, I was still an intern. And during my last year as an intern, I met a very interesting individual. You see, I've always been a very optimistic individual, willing to learn, and also a very hard worker. I like to take action, follow a plan, and make things happen. So I remember the first day of my internship that year, again, before I graduated. I walked into the office, and my boss was a Caucasian lady. She was in her 60s. Seemed like a very sweet lady. I met her. She said, hello, welcome to our office. And I remember at the time in the office, there were many different chairs and desks, but she and I were the main ones in that office. So she told me to sit. There was a chair in the back of the office, a desk and a chair in the back of the office. So I said, thank you so much. So I sat back there and she went back to her desk. She gave me a little bit of information and then I sat at the desk. Now it was the first day, so I thought, okay, well, they don't really have a lot for me to do, so I'll just kind of do some research on my own. Again, taking action. I want to make sure that I'm a valuable person to this team. So one day went by, 2 days went by, 3 days went by. On the fourth day, I realized that I didn't have any work. So I asked her, I said, hey, I just was wondering if there's anything you'd like me to do. And she said, no, you're good. It's okay. You can just go back to your desk. If I need you, I'll let you know. I said, okay. So I went back to my desk. Again, I still started doing some research online, trying to get some books. I wanted to be useful. I wanted to take action. Now, after the second week of not having anything to do, now I was getting paid, but I don't like to get money and not do anything for it. I'm a hard worker. I want to earn my money. So after the second week, I thought that something was a little bit strange. So I called my parents and I said, hey, I haven't gotten any work yet, any assignments, but, I want to work. I'm here to work. They said, okay, just talk to your boss again. So after the second week, I went to my boss again. I said, hey, let's say her name was Miss Smith, not her real name. I said, hey, Miss Smith, I just wanted to come and ask, if you had an exact assignment for me, because I'm sitting in the back and I'm not really doing anything, but I'm really here to work. And Mrs. Smith's facial expression completely changed. She went from happy Mrs. Smith to a little bit rude Mrs. Smith. Now, again, this is just one individual and the office that I was working in when I was, again, like a junior or senior when I was in university. And Mrs. Smith looked at me and said, who are you to ask me for a job? If I have you sitting in the back, you just sit there and don't ask any questions. That's when I realized that, unfortunately, Mrs. Smith was a very prejudiced woman. Now remember, this individual, no one else. I've always told you that my experience working as an intern and my experience at NASA, again, this wasn't my job, it was my internship. Everyone was amazing. But Mrs. Smith, she was the only one that seemed to have an issue with the color of my skin. Now I had a choice. I was very young. I could respond to Mrs. Smith with the same energy she was giving to me, or I could use wisdom and be kind. So I went back to my desk, called my parents again later that evening, and I explained what happened. And they said, yes, Tiff, Miss Smith has an issue, not the other people around you, and you have to figure out how you will address Miss Smith. So everything worked out to where I was able to contact another individual that was involved in the program that I was involved in. He was above as well. He was one of the managers. And I explained what was happening and what I was feeling. And he said, okay, that is her issue. We're going to move you to another office. We don't want you to experience this kind of negative environment. And they moved me to another office. On the last day before I moved to that office, Miss Smith didn't want to speak to me. So I knew for a fact she had a problem with me because of the color of my skin. And I moved to the next office. I never was unkind. I never was rude. I never said anything in a mean way to Miss Smith. But remember, I said I was very young at that time. What that situation taught me was that people will be people. An individual can choose how they will treat another individual, but that is that individual's issue. And it's up to me, it's up to you to choose how to treat an individual. And I learned that I should be in control of my emotions, my feelings, and my thoughts, and I should treat everyone with kindness, no matter what is done to me. And I want you as an English learner to understand that. You may be in a situation where someone treats you unfairly, or someone looks at you in the wrong way because your English is not perfect yet. Your English doesn't sound like their English, and they may make you feel a little uncomfortable. And like Miss Smith in this story, they may treat you a certain way because of your English level. They may make you feel a little bit bad. But you must remember that is that individual's issue, not yours. And everyone else is not like that individual. Mrs. Smith had an issue, but everyone else in the office was absolutely amazing. So I chose to focus on the other people and not allow Mrs. Smith's choices or Mrs. Smith's viewpoint or ideas related to my skin color to affect me. I want you to remember that. As you're on this English journey, you're going to make mistakes, and it's okay. And 9 times out of 10, people will treat you fine. They won't laugh. They'll be okay. But when that one person, like Mrs. Smith, treats you in a way that makes you feel bad, treats you in an unfair way because of your English, don't allow that to cause you to stop. Remember, that's that individual's issue, and not everyone else is going to treat you like that. I am rooting for you. I am encouraging you. I believe you can achieve your English goals. So if someone makes you feel bad about your English, don't focus on them. Focus on everyone else that's encouraging you to achieve your English goals. Now, I hope you enjoyed this story. Again, I want to encourage you to achieve all of your English goals, and I'll talk to you next time.